Hey guys, I'm Mr. Zach, and Mrs. Tagg invited me to do a special holiday story time with you guys. So I'm going to read you one of my favorites, Merry Christmas, Curious George. Merry Christmas, Curious George. Written by Kathy Hapka and illustrated by Mary O'Keefe Young. Illustrated means that she drew all the pictures. This is George. He lived with his friend, the man with the yellow hat. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today George was visiting a Christmas tree farm. "You can help me pick out the perfect tree for our home," his friend told him. "Keep close to me while we look." George promised to be good, but little monkeys sometimes forget. I think that means he's going to get into trouble. The Christmas tree farm had more trees than George had ever seen. He found a very nice one right away, but then another one caught his eye. And then one more, and then another. George was curious. How many Christmas trees could there be? It looks like there's a lot. George could not resist climbing up the tallest tree to get a better view. He looked for the man with the yellow hat, but his friend was nowhere in sight. Two men tromped into the clearing. "There's our tree," the one man told the other. The men cut down the tree and loaded it onto the truck. Along with George. See, you can see him hanging off the back of the tree. George held on tightly. He saw the man with the yellow hat as the truck drove away, but the truck was going too fast. George could not jump off. He was scared, but still a little curious. Soon the truck stopped in front of a hospital. George peeked out of the branches as the men carried his tree inside. The hospital was a busy place. George jumped out of the tree. There was lots here to see and do. He looked at some intriguing pictures. Uh-oh, he has the little kid's x-rays. He found a jacket and tried it on. He played on a trampoline. He even went for a ride on a speedy little cart. What fun! Then George spotted something very interesting. It was his tree. George knew that Christmas trees were supposed to have tinsel and twinkling lights and shiny ornaments, but this tree was empty. George thought, and then he had an idea. It looks like he's going to decorate it. Next, George noticed a pile of gifts in the corner of the room. The gifts looked all pretty, but George was curious. Could he make them look even prettier? This red bow would look much better on the green box, and the name tags might look better on different packages too. Uh-oh, if he moves all the name tags around, then no one's going to know what gifts are theirs. A nurse arrived, and what did she see? A monkey, and he's making a big mess. Uh-oh, George got caught. A group of children crowded around the nurse. They were all patients at the hospital. Even though it was Christmas, the children were not smiling or looking happy. "Come along," the nurse said, picking George up. "I'd better get you out of here before you can ruin anything else." A girl with a cast stared at George's tree. Suddenly she giggled. "Look," she said, "it's my x-ray." A boy laughed. "And there's the balloon from my room." All the children started chattering and laughing as they looked at George's funny decorations. "Can't he stay for the party?" a boy asked the nurse. "We don't mind about the gifts. It will be fun to sort them out." "Please let him stay, please," the other children chimed in. When she saw how happy the children looked, the nurse looked happier too. "I suppose he can stay," she said, "if he promises to help fix the tree." Do you see how the tree is all bare, and he's going to redecorate it? George was happy to help. The children helped too. Some of them returned George's decorations, while the others handed George the real ornaments. He scampered up and down, stringing lights and hanging tinsel. Being a monkey, he was very good at that sort of thing. He was also good at making the children laugh. When the tree was finished, George helped open the gifts. He was having such a good time that he completely forgot he was lost. Until the man with the yellow hat hurried into the room. "There you are, George," he cried. "I followed that truck all the way here." George was very happy to be reunited with his friend. The nurse invited them to both stay for milk and cookies. Ho, ho, ho! Did someone mention milk and cookies? A man in a red suit walked into the room, his belly jiggling. He was holding a beautiful golden star. George's eyes widened. It was Santa Claus. "Who would like to put the star on top of the tree?" Santa asked. "George!" the children cried at once. "Let George do it!" George scurried up the tree one last time, and he put the golden star in place peacefully. "Merry Christmas, Curious George!" Look how happy they are, and even Santa came. And that's the end of Merry Christmas, Curious George.